even on here, like the new fans that I've made here or people that listen in, like that are relatable to me, that are, see themselves in me and who write in and this and that. Like
they all like me better.
Yeah, well, we know that.
And we know that.
We know that. I read the comments. I know.
They don't.
I want to be like Lou. Oh, hey, I can read these.
He can't.
I can't read.
He sounds out the first half and then he gives up on himself.
Welcome back to Secondhand Therapy. We want to remind you that we are not therapists. We're not licensed professionals. This is not a substitute for actual therapy. If you can afford to go, you should go. Thank you for being with us. We have a Patreon. We have a contact us. You'll see it on all our socials and all that fun stuff. We're just two guys going through it. So enjoy the show.
You're going to hear our new music. We want to give a shout out to Jamie Franks.
Jamie Franks on the ones and twos.
On the ones and twos. That motherfucker did it. Check him out. He's on Spotify. He's everywhere. He's incredible. Thank you, Jamie. We love you. Hello, my little bear cubs, and welcome back.
Secondhand Therapy.
So I guess the problem I'm having is, when do you go back to therapy when you're doing great?
Oh, immediately.
You think so, huh?
I don't know. It feels a little bit like when people are on meds for a while and then they like skip a couple days and they go, oh, I feel great. I don't need this medication. And then before you know it, they're back in their old habits or their old self, and they're like, I feel like shit again. And you're like, yeah, you're off your fucking meds.
So you have no faith in me at all.
I do.
In my healing. In my transformation. I used to be a caterpillar. And what am I now, Daddy? A monarch.
Piece of shit. Butterfly.
You got there. You got there.
I eventually ate. And you know what? And that is progress.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I don't know. I believe in breaks.
Yeah.
And I believe in spacing it out, but I don't know if I believe in just like not going anymore.
Yeah, I don't know who said anything about a break because I feel pretty good that I'm healed. I think I am the therapist now.
You bought a pair of glasses and now you think you're healed. And that's not how therapy. Do not put them on. We had so many complaints.
We had one complaint.
It was me. I was complaining.
We got one comment on Instagram that said, the reflection on his glasses is distracting.
Yeah.
And you know what I replied to that comment? What? I said, okay. Because what the fuck else am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to say, I'm so sorry. I will never do it again. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Bitch, I'm going to show up to her house wearing those glasses with a flashlight in my own face. It's distracting. Hey, welcome to the internet. Okay. You're here because you're avoiding your life.
Speaking of avoiding your life,
yeah.
So you're not going to therapy.
I don't need it.
Okay. Well,
I know. But here's where I'm at.
Okay.
I feel great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need to go back for a while. But I am trying to look at it from both sides. And yeah, it could be one of a few things of like, have I made more progress in therapy than I've realized on, whatever issues that used to rear their head a lot in my personal life, in my relationship? Have I made enough progress I don't realize it? Or because I'm not working on them, they're doing what they've done and they just hang back and fester and, grow like cancer. I think I'm healed.
Now.
Yeah.
As someone who's still in therapy, I can tell you multiple truths.
Hey, when did you last go to therapy? Last month?
Listen, mine have been spaced out. My guy's on vacation.
You do it on the computer.
Yeah. I don't make the rules. I just unfortunately follow them.
All right.
So,
yeah,
I've been out for a week. You got me.
Yep. Oh, I got you.
You got me.
How many times did you go when you were on tour? I was wondering if I could count those on 0 fingers. Gotta count them on 0 fingers?
Now, I didn't go on tour
Mm-hmm.
because it was tour.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to talk about that.
But I didn't go because I thought I was healed. I went because I was in motion every fucking day and didn't really have a time where I thought I could lock down.
Didn't really have a time. Did
Yeah.
you do any shopping on tour? Did you find time to do shopping on tour?
Now, this isn't about me. This is what's called deflection in therapy. Now, you wouldn't know this because you're not in therapy. This is deflection.
I've heard of deflection.
Yeah.
I've never done it. I've heard of it.
Currently doing
I've
it.
never participated in it.
I've
witnessed
if
it.
there was a gold medal, buddy, I'd be putting it around your fucking neck right now.
Well, it's because I'm a champion.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway. And also, I kind of just keep forgetting to call. Business hours really get away from me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I also, and we've talked about this, the idea of starting with somebody new and then be like, so why are you in therapy? Hey, mind your fucking business. You know? And
yeah.
I think my next therapist, I'm not going to tell him about the podcast.
Did you tell your last therapist?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memory of a fucking goldfish. I don't know.
Yeah, no, she knew.
Why? Why? It just.
I don't know that it's important.
No.
And I think, if anything, because of the size the podcast has become, it doesn't seem to be beneficial. It seems, if anything, I mean, the therapist is a human being.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're going to get an itch, check it out. Maybe they're going to try to be different because they think their name's going to go. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And also, mind your fucking business. And that too. If I say I'm having a hard time at work, what do? Whoops. You read my form. It said, under
Work.
occupation, it said busy. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm hearing how guarded I am right now. I'm like, okay, yeah, well.
I was just going to say there's a lot of hostility here. So maybe these are clues that we should look at, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I would love to get to a point where I can take like a 2 or 3 year break.
Oh my God. Really?
And just only go back if I notice I'm like, hey, I'm kind of doing some shit. I'm feeling like maybe I should go work through some more stuff. Yeah, I would love to get to a point where therapy is like a tool, like an as needed, tool to go through life.
I think therapy is always just a tool, right? Like,
yeah,
I see what you're saying, but I don't know. And again, like, I believe in breaks and all that stuff, but 2 or 3 year gaps and things like that. I don't know. I think it just maybe I'm just not there yet. Because for me it helps so much.
Yeah, and this might be uncomfortable. I also, you and I do therapy very differently.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in going in there and talking about my last week. That is never what I do.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bigger part of therapy for you. So it makes sense to me why like a longer break would feel a little more foreign.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Hey, I would love to be doing more parts work.
Yeah.
Thanks. But also, yeah, I'm a verbal processor.
Yeah.
So it helps me a lot to start to unpack things, even if it is small, like week to week or whatever. It tends to lead to the bigger things that are rooted there, which then will lead to the parts work and EMDR and all that stuff. So this is what we get into sometimes when we talk about small talk, right?
Yeah.
Like that will help me to get to the bigger things instead of me just going in and being like, yeah, let's talk about, earning love. Like, let's start with a little chit chat, and then we'll get to something, and then it'll be like, oh, what's that? And then it's like, oh, and you just keep like pulling on this fucking rope until you're like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? And then it's this big thing that comes out after we just pulled on this little.
And then time's up and we didn't do any work on it.
No, and then the next week you go, okay, last week we talked about, the shame that's attached to, X, Y, and Z. Like, let's go there.
All right.
Yeah.
How's your week been? Dude, who gives a shit? My week, it was like the one before and it's like the one next. The fuck, man. Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah. That's crazy to me.
The only time it will be is if there's like a thing in my relationship.
Yeah.
But another thing I think I definitely do different than my partner. So maybe it's a lot of people are like this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say me and my girl do have a very big, I don't want to say confrontation, but a serious conversation, a difficult thing that we have to work through.
Yeah.
If I feel like we've resolved it, I don't talk about it in therapy.
Oh my God. You don't get a different perspective?
No. If I feel it's resolved, it's done. If I'm in a place where I'm like I'm still having an issue with it or I can't get past it, then I'll talk about it in therapy. But if I'm like, okay, that's resolved, why would I need her opinion on something? Also, I could go fuck it up again? No, it's resolved. I feel good about it.
No, but sometimes, okay, so do you don't spend it, do you spend any more time on it by yourself?
If it comes up organically, yeah.
Okay.
But typically, if it's a bigger thing, like it's not a 10-minute resolution. Like it's a couple hours. It might even spill into a couple days of working through it with my partner. But yeah, once it's resolved, I don't, why would I waste therapy time on something that we've already figured out?
Because maybe they can unlock a perspective that you didn't see there before. And then you can go back to your partner and say, hey, you know what? The other day when we were talking about X, Y, and Z, I didn't see it like this. And I wanted to just say, I'm sorry, and this or that, or like, oh, or more, even if it's the other way around where you're like, hey, I didn't see it like this. And actually, this is why I felt that way. And if we could avoid this in the future, this would be helpful. Or like, if we can navigate this way instead of that way, if we can communicate like this instead of that, like that different perspective, I feel is huge, because then you can not reopen the disagreement or the argument or whatever's going on, but just to kind of, I think that for me is the closure, being like, hey,
yeah. And we know you love to apologize 10 times. And that makes sense why you would want to do that. But if it's resolved, it's resolved.
Sure, but could it be handled better in the future?
Yeah.
By learning more about the resolve.
Maybe.
Right, maybe.
Maybe.
And that's my point. Maybe.
Yeah.
But you won't know because you won't bring it up again.
No, because it's resolved.
Right.
Because it's resolved. And I feel satisfied with where we are, and my partner feels satisfied with where we are.
Great.
So I don't need to go to my therapist and be like, hey, do we do good? Do we do good? No.
It's not about a grade card. It's just about, again, like different perspective. I think it helps.
Yeah. If I needed the help, sure.
But you don't need any help because you don't need therapy in general.
I just said.
You're healed.
I just said, if it's resolved, that means
Yes.
I didn't need help.
Right.
If I do need help, I'll go talk to the person about it.
Well, we don't know because you're on a break. And speaking of breaks, we got to go to a commercial break.
Go to a commercial break.
You are about to hear so many ads. I can't even count the ads you're about to hear. This is one of them. You're currently hearing an ad right now. You don't even know it yet. But there's a way around it. I'm here to help you. You can go to Patreon. You can go to Patreon right now. You can give as little as $5. $5. And you won't hear any ads. You can give a little bit more if you want some access to some bonus stuff like the other podcast we do that's way better than the one you're listening to now. Way more fun, some say. Some people say it.
I think it is.
There's a lot of stuff on Patreon that you're missing out on. And you wouldn't know that. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help. Go to Patreon, avoid the ads, get all the bonus stuff. We'll see you there.
So you're always, if you have a big thing and you feel better about it, it's part of your week. So it's going to the therapist.
I wouldn't say always, but probably 7 out of 10 times.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, but I'm a verbal processor, all those things. And I would like to, I like different perspectives. You and I have talked about this before. Like, I need to go to, I don't need to, but I like to go to like 2 or 3 people. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah. And just like,
drives me crazy.
Yeah. That way, because again, like, what if they see it? And oftentimes they do see things in a way that I don't see them, or they point something out, or that I'm just, yeah, it just offers just a fresh eye to something that, again, maybe I'm, because of whatever, I'm missing. And so that's helpful. Context helps me.
Yeah.
You're somebody who doesn't believe in context.
I do. Why do you do that? It's not that I don't believe in context. It's not always necessary.
Right.
And you think it's always necessary.
I don't think it's always necessary.
Okay.
7 out of 10 necessary for me.
No.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Sometimes context is helpful. Sometimes it's helpful. I agree.
Yeah.
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 But 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I think you look at it too when I talk about it as if like, as if it's people telling me how to feel or how to think about something. And I'm just gathering more information.
So you can decide.
So I can decide, what is this?
Yeah.
Because I think the more information you have is helpful.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think maybe that's where we're getting a little hung up on the differences of like, I think maybe you think I'm just waiting for somebody else to tell me how I feel about something.
I think you're waiting to receive permission to feel a certain way about something.
Sometimes. Yeah. I'm like, should I be this angry or should I be?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's up to you.
I know that's up to me.
That's just how you feel.
But that perspective sometimes will help either calm me down or justify my emotions. And I'm like, yeah, okay, no, this is right. Like, yeah.
So why do you do it with haircuts and tattoos too?
I do. It just takes longer.
I know, but why?
Because I don't want to look like a fucking idiot.
Who gets to choose if you look like an idiot? Who makes that decision?
Oh, the world.
Jesus Christ.
You go out your front door and you look like a fucking idiot. Guess what? You're going to hear about it. You're going to hear about it. And I'm just not at the point in my life where I can go, doesn't matter. I'm not there yet. If I step out my door and 25 people during the day go, hey, you look like a fucking idiot. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta
How many
change.
times in your life has somebody said, hey, you look like a fucking idiot?
Not many. just in the house.
Hey, buddy, if you ask me, hey, what do you think of this? Like, it looks bad.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you're asking me. Yeah. I would never be like, bro, you look like a fucking idiot. I think I did one time.
Yeah.
You were going, you met like a fashion designer or somebody, and he invited you to go to his studio.
Yeah.
And you put together this outfit. And I was like, oh, I mean, honestly, you're trying so hard.
Yeah.
You look like an asshole. And I think that was the only time I've ever been like, absolutely not, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in those, okay, so this is a good one because sometimes I don't take that advice. And sometimes
it's true.
I just go, hey, I know I look good or I know X, Y, and Z, and fuck it. I don't give a shit.
Why don't you always have that?
I don't know. Probably people pleasing. Again, what's the root of it? Oh, we're getting to it. It's fucking people pleasing. It's I need you to like me. So if I look like a fucking idiot, you're not gonna like me. You're not gonna hang out with me again. And guess what that is? Pull it out. Pull it out. Oh, fucking abandonment.
Mm. So in the moments where you can be like, nah, bro, you're fucking wrong. I look great. What is that? That's healed people pleasing?
I think so. That's probably healed self showing up and being like, it doesn't matter. Like you know you look good.
Mm.
Yeah, but I don't always have that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I ordered a couple pair of jeans.
Denim?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
Okay.
I didn't know that jeans were stretchy now. Hold on.
Now this is for the other show. A lot of times we say that on the other show, but in this instance, that's for the other show.
I don't have them yet. They're not here. But there was like stretched in, and they had they had like a video of the guys in it, and they're like doing high knees and shit. And I'm like,
Okay.
Are these leggings? What are they? They have a zipper, so I don't know what to do.
You got some airport denim. That's what I call that. You got
Airport denim?
You got some airport denim.
What is airport denim?
Some denim you can move in. Some denim that if you're missing your flight, you can fucking run that flight down. You got some children to jump over. You got some luggage to pull.
So this isn't normal.
Yes and no. It's like it's like.
Do you have any stretchy denim?
I don't. It's like joggers.
I love joggers.
Only in the denim form. I call it airport denim.
It sounds like it's right up my alley.
Buddy, you can move in them.
Shout out. I'm not going to say who I ordered from because they don't pay us.
Yeah.
It was
okay.
Bleep it out.
I love that you said it like it was going to be some kind of high end in it. Oh, buddy.
It was Kmart.
Now this is for the other show.
This is the wrong show. All right, talk about your
reverse show.
Yeah.
I'm also out here healing.
Yeah.
And
you're on a break?
I'm not on a break. Kind of, sort of, not intentionally.
Yeah, your therapist doesn't return your calls.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay.
It really helps my avoidant issues.
Yeah.
My abandonment and avoidance.
He reminds you of your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that. And we cover it every time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, so what have you got?
I noticed, here's the thing about progress.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird when you notice it and how you notice it.
Yeah.
Again, this goes into what we were talking about earlier. We were talking about tour and we were just kind of pulling at little things.
Yeah.
And one of the things was me sticking up for my needs a couple times. And I never would have done that before. And now, even last year when I was on tour with them, like I would just stay silent, keep the peace. But this year there was a couple things that I needed and I spoke up for them. One of them being like, I had recently switched over to medications and to different medications. And one of them is like a generic of Adderall. Mm-hmm. And I learned that if you don't take that with the proper amount of food in the morning, that it gives you the shakes, gets you real jittery. Mm-hmm. And so we're in a van for 6 hours driving to the next gig, and it's 10 a.m. and I'm shaking. And normally, buddy, I would sit and shake until the next stop. Wherever we're going,
yeah,
that's where we're at. And instead, I was like, hey guys, I need some food in my system. I have this new medication and it's making me a little shaky and I need some food, like, soon. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, no problem. And we pulled over at the next couple exits or whatever it was, and we saw food, and I got it, and they were super cool, and, like, nobody gave me any... Obviously, they're not going to give me grief about it, but in that people-pleasing mindset, all you think about is that worst case scenario. That's why you don't speak up, because they're going to hate you. They're going to think you're too needy. They're going to not want to hang out with you. They're not going to invite you out next year on tour. Like, all of those worst case scenario things happen. And that's why I stayed silent in the prior years. But this year I was like, no, I need this. And if they judge me, or if they don't want to use me, or whatever it is, like, okay, that's out of my control. And I was able to let go of that and be like, hey, I need this.
Do you think you're able to do that in any situation now? Or do you think it was easier because you're familiar with those guys because you tour with them every year?
Definitely not any situation, but I do find myself speaking up more. And it's still new, but, and I don't know if it's the anxiety meds that are helping with that a little bit to calm me down enough to be like, hey, who cares?
Hey, it is.
Yeah. 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 But it feels good, and it's new, and I'm still learning how to use it. But it's progress in a way that I have not seen before, and that I didn't even realize was happening until I was kind of talking about it. Yeah.
What other progress have you noticed?
Buddy,
Yes.
I got bad news.
All right.
I'm happy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in general?
Yeah. Just overall feeling good. Feeling happy.
Good for you, man.
Is it? That's what we talked about in therapy. Is it?
Why? What?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's...
I don't know what it is, but I know we have to take a break.
Yeah, we'll talk
and we're
about
going to talk about this nightmare.
This nightmare being
where
happy.
you found happiness.
Oh, God.
This treacherous road.
Yeah.
Right after this.
Here at Vasectomy Farms, we believe in one simple thing. Removing all the unnecessary bits like pulp. Because every choice should be yours. It's the juice your taste buds always wanted without all the, baggage. At Vasectomy Farms, we believe that getting a vasectomy is a choice. And just like a woman's right to choose, it's personal. That's why the only choice is pro-choice. And right now, when you buy a hoodie, a t-shirt, or a tote bag, a portion of the proceeds goes straight to supporting women's reproductive rights organizations. So whether you're repping our gear or about to swallow some smooth, pulp-free juice, you're helping create a world where choice is always in the mix. Vasectomy Farms. All juice, no pulp, no judgment, and now with a little bit more power to the people. Vasectomy Farms. The smooth choice, and the right one.
Happiness is at the door, and I won't let that motherfucker in because I don't trust him.
Now.
Yeah.
What part of you doesn't trust him?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't. The thing I don't trust is that I don't know. Okay, two things.
Usually, yeah.
King of two things, baby, coming through. I don't know how long he will be here, so I won't let him in the house.
Happiness.
Yeah. And the other part of me goes, who cares how long he'll be here? Let's just enjoy his company while he's here.
Mm-hmm.
But he is not a new part, but an unfamiliar part, I feel like. He's not a series regular, you know?
Yeah.
He's been a guest star in a few episodes, but he hasn't been around for a whole lot of scenes. And so I don't know if I can trust him.
Mm.
And I've just been a little scared that it's not real.
Mm.
That I'm being foolish for thinking about like that this could actually be an option, or that I could actually be happy, or that people in general that are happy feel this way. And also on the flip side, there's that idea of like, oh, this is happy, and like you couldn't fucking do this for so long, like yeah. So there's a lot of shit going on with this dude.
Yeah, every angle you found a way to make it your fault. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's my
this is what it is.
superpower.
This is what it is. You could for this long. You couldn't do this. Hey, well, mom died. And no therapy, and then I lost everything in the pandemic, and
yeah. So what we got down to was this idea of what a lot of things are rooted in, which is abandonment.
Mm.
I have been Mr. Woe for so long that what happens when I'm not Mr. Woe anymore?
Hey, we love a rebrand.
We do. I just don't know, because it's like that's who I have been for so long, that I have a little bit of like this abandonment of identity happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the fucking old saying is like, you know, your new life is going to cost you your old one, and this and that, and it feels a little bit like that. It feels a little bit like shedding that skin of like, yeah, you're no longer Mr. Woe.
Mm. What does that feel like?
I'm scared.
Mm.
I'm scared because if I'm not sad, then I don't know if I'm useful.
Mm.
And even in like little ways. So like, even to my therapist. Oh, you're happy now? You're done with therapy. See you later. Don't need to see you this week. Like, oh no, I still need to see you. Oh, you're happy? Like all my friends like that I've made over the years and commiserated with and this and that, like all those relationships that I've built on commisery. Oh, you're happy now? See you later, dude, because we're fucking miserable. And we want you to be miserable like us. So see you later. Even though I'm done speaking that language. I don't want to commiserate anymore. I don't want to just be in the shit and talk about the shit. I want to get out of the shit. I'm tired of being in the shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, even the relationships that I don't want to have anymore, I'm scared of losing because I'm happy.
So you don't want them anymore, but you're scared of losing them.
Yeah.
Why?
Abandonment. Of like, well, then who will love me then?
But if
Who
you're
will like
choosing
me?
it, it's not abandonment.
It is in a way of like being able to lean on those relationships or have those relationships in my life. It's so hard for me to. It was so hard for me to build acceptance when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
That acceptance oftentimes trumps everything else. And so I've already been accepted in these groups. And so if I lose that acceptance, what do I have? I have nothing. I'm back to being the little kid that nobody likes, and I don't know what to do with that. Will other people like me?
Who cares?
I care a great deal.
I
Maybe you missed
know,
that part.
I
Yeah, but like,
I still don't get why.
yeah, well, you know, I enjoy friendships. I enjoy community. I enjoy that side of life.
I know you can have that without having all of the people.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I've just, again, like, I've just been Mr. Woe for so long. If I'm happy, what does that mean? What does that look like?
Take a look around. What do you mean? You're there.
Yeah. I mean, even this.
Hmm.
Can I be happy? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like people are relying on me to be sad.
Why? What does that get them?
I don't know. Relatability, acceptance in their own way.
Hmm.
You know, like, commisery has been the only way that I have found to make friends. I mean, stand up is kind of built on commisery, right?
Oh my
Like,
God, I hate comedians. Yeah.
yeah, but that's like, even, you know, you're talking about a lifetime of that
Yeah.
gone and starting as this new thing. That's scary. That's weird. And I'm worried about being useful, accepted.
You like the guy who was battling cancer for like 6 years and then he beats it and he's like, oh, I'm not the sick guy anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't want the cancer back.
Yeah, I know that, but
Why you want the cancer back?
I
Papa, why you want cancer back? Papa.
don't know.
Huh. Wow.
Because all my friends have cancer and that's all they talk about.
Well, they're all gonna die. So
Yeah. Yeah, and so
it'll be sad, but life can go on without them.
yeah.
And that's a metaphor.
So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with is being happy and trying to figure out how to be okay with being happy.
Be okay with being happy.
Yeah.
What's your instinct?
To reject it.
And do what instead? Like find something to be miserable about?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
I'm going to say something.
Mm-hmm.
You're very good at it.
Oh.
If there was somebody to find a problem, yeah.
Dude, there was a TikTok the other day. Somebody labeled like the guy who just can't be happy anywhere. There's like a series of them.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, there was like this concert going on and they pan over to the friend and he goes, it's going to be a lot of traffic later.
That's you.
That's me, dude.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is me.
Yep.
And I don't want to be that guy anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to be happy and be at the concert.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid if I'm not the guy that goes, there's going to be a lot of traffic later, then I'm not useful.
You think that's useful?
Yeah.
To whom?
I don't know. I was just always taught that that's useful. That commisery is useful.
Yeah.
And you just weren't allowed to be happy. And so, because then they automatically, and we've talked about this before, then you automatically get thought of as like, oh, they think they're better than us. No, they're just fucking happy. No, they just got out of this shit. They just fucking didn't want to be here anymore and dealing with this fucking shit, living in this. They just got out of it. That doesn't mean they're better. That means they just want to fucking live like this anymore. And that's where I'm at, where I'm like, I'm tired of fucking living like this. And I've been able to break out of that in other aspects of my life throughout my life. But yeah, this one's big. It feels like a new identity. And that's scary.
Mm. Even though it's a better identity, still scary.
Yeah.
Because it could be temporary.
Yeah.
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 Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, man.
Well, let's take our last break.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about how you can ruin this.
I can't wait.
Yep.
If you want to contact us, it's super easy. You can send us actual physical mail. We have a P.O. box, and we all know that I love getting mail. He does occasionally, but I love getting physical mail. So you can send us whatever you want. We have a P.O. box. It's right here. I don't know. I do the editing, but it's on one of these fucking sites.
Yeah, it's over there.
Or you can find it on our Instagram, and along with a phone number where you can leave us voice messages or send us text messages, and sometimes we talk about them on the show. I don't know if you heard the last episode, but it was a doozy.
Cheating on his 9-month pregnant wife.
Now that came from a voice note that somebody left us, and you could leave us a similar voice note, and we could talk about whatever you suggest on there. We would love to hear from you. Contact us, or you can always join us on Patreon, and you can talk to us directly. We have a little chat room there, and sometimes we jump in there. We be talking to the people.
What are you talking, bro? Somebody put a good idea in, doing an episode about, do you stand by this? And I think we should do that.
I think we should too. So join us on Patreon, or you can contact us. Thank you for listening. Here's some ads.
Afraid to be happy.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh no. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Mom taught you that, and we know that.
Yeah.
And we know that. And when are we going to face that and talk about that part of it?
Well, we know that. Also, everybody taught me that. Everybody in that town taught me that growing up.
Yeah.
When I was on tour, I met up with my aunt.
Yeah.
And we talked about how we are actually very similar. And yes.
Your initial reaction.
Yes.
Did you feel insulted?
No.
Okay.
We don't align in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But it's still family.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, side note, I just started reading All About Love by Bell Hooks, and there is something in there, and I think chapter 2 about childhood love, about how we're taught and all these things.
Yeah.
And there was something really interesting in there where she said, oftentimes we are not given the choice of love as children when it comes to family, where it's just like, oh, you have to love them. They're your family. And that's just so ingrained in us. And I feel that way coming up in the Midwest. I don't know if that's like an everywhere thing, but like in the Midwest especially, like that is your family. You stick with them. Like that is no matter what. And turns out that's wrong.
There's no right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong, but like love is a choice. Even when
love
you're
is a choice. Love is a choice. Love is an ability. Yes.
Yeah. And you should have the choice when you're young who you love, and also as an adult.
Yeah.
But anyways, so the similarities that I've found with her and I don't know if I've talked about this on here or not, but like she had a very similar path that I did, with wanting to get out of that town, wanting to better her life, wanting to not commiserate, and like all those things. And buddy, she was oftentimes the villain in a lot of our gossip. our little family gossip.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all rooted around her leaving the family, abandoning the family, like going to oh, she thinks she's better than us and like X, Y, and Z because that she wanted more for herself.
Yeah.
That was a bad thing.
A lot of people can handle that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so that was just like beat into my fucking brain that is wanting more for yourself or bettering your life or anything like that equals, oh, you think you're better than me. Oh, you think you're better than us.
Now, do I deal with that sometimes when I go home? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I relate to that a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that is kind of what this feels like, is if I'm happy now, then the friends that I've made or, whatever, the friends and fans that I've made along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you think you're better than us now? Oh,
The fans?
yeah.
Oh, God. All right.
Yeah. Because like I said, like I did 20 years of stand-up,
Mhm.
like, and that is commisery.
Yeah.
Comedy is commisery.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true.
and even on here, like the new fans that I've made here or people that listen in, like that are relatable to me, that are, see themselves in me and who write in and this and that. Like,
They all like me better.
yeah, well, we know that.
And we know that.
We know that. I read the comments. I know.
They
I
don't.
want to be like Lou. Oh, hey, I can read these.
He can't.
I can't
He
read.
sounds out the first half and then he gives up on himself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard the podcast.
But even in those moments, it's like, oh, are those people going to think like, oh, he thinks he's better than us now? Or, because that's what's been beating my fucking brain is that, oh, he's happy now, so he's not useful in those ways of commisery or reflection or relatability.
Are you aware that all of that is just projection on their part?
Mm-hmm.
That even if they are treating you differently or talking down to you, it's because they feel inferior. They feel less than, so they go, oh, you think you're better than me? No, I don't. You think I'm better than you, and that's your problem.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Well, that would be logic, right? And we know that I work in emotion. So
Yeah.
so logically, sure, that makes perfect fucking sense. But
Yeah.
emotionally, ouchie, don't leave. I love you. Please love me.
Damn.
But we're working on it. We're out here. We're
Yeah.
working on it.
You are working on it. Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Huh.
trying to be happy, man. Actually,
You are happy.
I'm trying to accept that I am happy.
Yeah. How's it feel?